Hi, everybody. My name is Renee Garcia. I am a grad student at Arizona State University and also a dietetic intern at Cal Poly Pomona. So my story that I'm going to share with you today involves my culture, which I will start off by saying that through the classes I took at Cal Poly, we discussed how we identify culturally and the aspects of our culture. And I was really shocked at the time during these classes to find that I didn't have a culture. I was born in the US. I don't necessarily have any specific ethnic or racial backgrounds. I didn't really grow up going to church necessarily, so I didn't have that sense of community. And so, um, doing these assignments kind of, I would say, put me in a little bit of a slump. I started to think I didn't have a culture at all, nothing to identify with. And then when I started picking the pieces apart and kind of looking at my background and history, I started to look more at our own family traditions and what we did for holidays and the camping we did every summer, the foods we ate for certain occasions, our birthday traditions, and things like that. And then I started to realize, okay, I do have a culture. It's just it's a small community. I've kind of built our own culture. We have our own family culture, and my husband and I have both used aspects of our own childhoods and upbringing to kind of create our own special culture for our family, which I think is pretty cool. It does still bother me a little bit that I don't have this bigger sense of community. But I feel like we create our own cultures in different situations too, like our own small communities. So it's nice to have that feeling at Cal Poly of we've got our own little culture and community there. We're nurturers and healthcare providers, and we're there to help people. That's a culture in itself. I have my family culture. I work hard to get my kids out in nature. We've taught them to be kind and act through kindness and empathy and always putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And then our food also is part of our culture. I work hard to make meals that I put a lot of love into, but also are good for us. I grew up, and with every meal, my mom always had a vegetable. And that sounds very simple, but a lot of my friends' families didn't have that. So that's something that I do for our family too. We always have a vegetable. I always try to um, incorporate certain flavors and ingredients that I know my kids like. Um, Again, to make a meal that is healthy but also delicious. Um, so that's kind of my story. Of struggling with that cultural identity and feeling that it was very lacking. And I think that partly comes from the fact that Cal Poly is so diverse, and I am so drawn to learning more about other people's cultures, the food they eat, their cultural practices. That it kind of like made me realize, like, do I have that? And I do. It just looks a little bit different. Um, so that's kind of my background. It has led me to a place where I am very, very interested in learning about other people's cultures. And I can't wait to delve into that a little bit more. I think the more we learn, the more respect we have, and then that allows us to advocate more for the clients and patients that we're working with, making sure that we are working with them to find goals that are appropriate and making sure that we're being respectful at the same time. Thank you so much.